Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a look outside that weather window. And boy, if it wasn't for all that wind today, it would have been a nice one. Lots of blue sky this afternoon, and that wind was howling out there between 25 and 30 miles an hour. Beautiful shot, though, looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights. And I'll tell you, we got a lot to get to. Windy today. We have a wind advisory until 9 p.m. tonight. That means lots of crosswinds and 40 to 45 mile an hour gusts are possible. Also, there's a blowing dust advisory. This is mainly over in the Moses Lake area, George to Ritzville, also Moses Lake to Ritzville. Visibility could be down to a mile or less at times tonight, so be aware of that. And also, we got snow to deal with. A winter weather advisory is in effect until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, where Stevens Pass could pick up between 3 and 6 inches of snow. We'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. Now, a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. An Ephrata man will do 11 years of federal prison time for his part in a methamphetamine trafficking scheme. A 32-year-old woman was arrested for second-degree arson after allegedly starting a brush fire that burned about an acre last night in Ephrata. And the median sales price of a home in the Wenatchee market skyrocketed last month, up almost $25,000 compared to March and up $90,000 compared to April of 2021. But first, our top story tonight. A woman was killed early this morning in a one-vehicle accident on the Malaga-Alcoa Highway. Chelan County Sheriff's Office Chief Chris Foreman said just before 4 a.m. they received a report of an erratic driver on the highway, and shortly after, a report on that wreck. The unidentified woman in her early 40s was ejected from her vehicle after it left the roadway near the intersection with Lower Hedges Road between South Wenatchee and Malaga. She was declared dead at the scene. Foreman said after leaving the roadway, the vehicle went about 15 feet down an embankment and bounced off a large tree before becoming wedged next to another large tree. Traffic on the highway was reduced to one lane following the accident, and Chelan County and Washington State Patrol investigators remain on scene. An Ephrata man will do 11 years of federal prison time for his part in a methamphetamine trafficking scheme. Raimundo Garcia was initially arrested by local police in 2020 for managing cockfights on his ranch property. That raid found evidence of drug dealing, and 13 birds were seized and euthanized. Garcia, who's now 59 years old, pleaded guilty last year to engaging in a conspiracy to distribute 50 or more grams of meth in which to use his ranch as a drug marketplace. He has 2 prior federal convictions for drug trafficking and firearms possession. A 32-year-old woman was arrested for second-degree arson after allegedly starting a brush fire that burned about an acre last night in Ephrata. About 6:45 p.m., the Ephrata Police Department received 3 reports of a woman starting brush on fire, and that happened on Highway 282 and Airport Street. Arrested a short distance away was Clinta Hernandez, who police said matched witness descriptions of the woman seen setting the fire. Grant County Fire District 13 was quickly able to contain the blaze, which was on rangeland owned by the Port of Ephrata. Police said the property is adjacent to the Ephrata Gun Club and was burning in the direction of the gun club buildings when it was extinguished. Well, the median sales price of a home in the Wenatchee market skyrocketed last month, up almost $25,000 compared to March and up $90,000 compared to April of 2021. The latest report from Pacific Appraisal Associates shows the median sales price in the Wenatchee MSA at $490,000. That's compared to $400,000 in April of 2021, a 23% increase. Total home sales remained steady last month compared to 2021, with 83 sold this year and 84 in April of last year. The bright spot in the report is active listings, up 30% last month compared to March of this year, and up a whopping 63% compared to April of 2021. The concentration of sales in our local market continues to be in the $300,000 to $500,000 price range. That represents 51% of the sales over the last 6 months. Well, when we come back, Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett has an opponent in his latest re-election campaign. Douglas County has a brand new elected office to vote for and a new candidate on the ballot to run it. 2 Methow Valley towns now have state money to create action plans for their housing needs. And a Grant County irrigation agency will receive $300,000 to upgrade one of its canals. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back. In another news, Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett has an opponent in his latest re-election campaign. Sheriff's Deputy Mike Morrison filed this week to challenge the 3-term sheriff for the office. Morrison is 41 years old. He joined the department in 2014, and he's currently president of the union that represents deputies in employment negotiations with Chelan County. He previously worked with the Omak Police Department. The Chelan County Sheriff oversees a force of about 40 deputies and 15 civilian staff. The deadline for candidates to file for office is this Friday. Douglas County has a brand new elected office to vote for and a new candidate on the ballot to run it. Tanner Bateman of East Wenatchee is a deputized coroner for the Douglas County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, which has handled death investigations for decades. Because the county now has more than 40,000 people according to the census, state law requires those investigations be conducted by an elected officer. Bateman, who's 32, has handled about 220 death investigations for Douglas County. He spoke with NCWLIFE about his candidacy.
Well, I interned at the Kittitas County Coroner's Office for essentially 2 years while I was going to school at Central and worked part-time at a funeral home as well there. So right now I've been the deputy coroner for a year and 5 months. They kind of hired me with the plans that this was becoming a new office and wanted to have someone kind of build up the office since we were transitioning from the prosecuting attorney model to an actual standalone coroner. It's never pleasant to have to go notify somebody that their loved one passed away. And so that can be a difficult conversation, and it always kind of is tough because you're delivering the worst news possible, really. And so that can be tough. But in the end, families tend to appreciate it. So it's nice when we do our job and the families thank you for helping them out along the difficult process. And so that kind of makes up for it. But there's a couple things that just aren't the most pleasant.
Two Methow Valley towns now have state money to create action plans for their housing needs. Twisp and Winthrop each received $25,000 from the Washington Department of Commerce to design strategies for the housing crisis, which has led to a shortage of more than 225,000 housing units in the state. The Growth Management Act now requires communities to plan for housing that's affordable to all economic segments. Twisp and Winthrop are among 28 towns throughout Washington to receive such grants. A Grant County irrigation agency will receive $300,000 to upgrade one of its canals. The grant from the Bureau of Reclamation goes to the Quincy-Columbia Basin Irrigation District to add 2,500 feet of lining to its West Canal water channel. That lining will help keep water from draining out of the earthen canal. Water engineers estimate about 849 acre-feet of water are lost from that canal by seepage every year. The irrigation district provides water to irrigate about 250,000 acres of farmland in western Grant County. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Don't miss the 2022 Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival. You'll enjoy a wide variety of jazz, breathtaking lake and vineyard views, and fabulous wine. The festival features 50 shows at 14 wineries and venues over 4 days. Imagine a musical tour around the beautiful Lake Chelan Wine Valley. Grab your friends and get your tickets to the 2022 Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival, May 19th through the 22nd.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, if birth trends hold steady, enrollment in the Wenatchee School District will decline over the next 4 years. The district doesn't have data for 2020 and after, but as of 2019, birth rates in the area point to a loss of somewhere between 50 to 100 students from 2023 to 2026. Finance and Operations Director Jeanette Jeffries briefed the school board on the situation earlier this week.
By birth year, the blue bar is the county birth rate data, and then the red line and the red numbers are the corresponding year when those students would enter kindergarten, what our actual kindergarten count was. So as you can see, for the most part, our trends are pretty well aligned with the county data. So there's not really any big deviations. You know, when the county data goes down, our data goes down. When the county data goes up, our data goes up as well. The one anomaly with that is in the 2018 birth year is when those students would have been entering kindergarten in 2020. So that was an impact there. So as you guys can see, for the most part, the trends hold pretty true when you're looking at the school year comparison. And so we're looking at births September to December in the prior calendar year, and then January to August in the next year, so we can align it with our school year. In 2017, those rates did go down, but then they did bounce back up a little bit. And I believe, obviously without seeing the data, I don't know for sure, but I do believe over the COVID timeframe, those rates probably went up a little bit as well. So as we talked about, our birth rates are declining. Again, you know, that might be different with the 2020 and 2021 birth rate data, but previous to that, our birth rates were declining. So we can expect that trend to pass through in our kindergarten classes in the next couple of years. Again, once we get to maybe 2 or 3 years out, that might look a little bit different, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Boy, it was a windy Wednesday. Hope you had a good one out there. Taking a look down at Leavenworth from our Tumwater Canyon. That's our Sky-Fi Tower Canyon up in the upper valley. Not shaking as bad as our cameras here in the Wenatchee area, but still plenty of wind all over North Central Washington. Did get a little bit, I should say, warmer than we thought today. 66 our unofficial high temperature, 72 is our normal high. Record 97 set back in 2006. 48 our low this morning. 50 is now our normal low temperature. Our record back in 1989, 39 degrees. Sunrise 5:20 this morning and sun sets tonight at 8:35. Let's take a look at how our Thursday temperatures shape up. We will see some wind once again tomorrow, but not as strong as today. A little bit cooler too. 62s for Moses Lake and Ephrata, also Quincy at 62. Wenatchee will be about 60, as well as Ellensburg, and then a little bit cooler in the higher elevations, anywhere from 53 at Lake Wenatchee to 59 for a high temperature in Cashmere. Taking a look at tonight, yeah, those breezes are going to continue right here in North Central Washington. High pressure here, low pressure here. It tightens up those pressure gradients, and that's what's causing all of this wind, and it will continue tonight. More wind for Thursday and unseasonably cool as we see a big influx of a northwesterly airflow, and that'll bring cooler temperatures our way. 60 for the high on Thursday with about a 10 to 25 mile an hour wind. Getting into Friday, high pressure battling it out, and it will win. Ridge open over the Pacific Northwest. We could Friday and both Saturday see some thunderstorm activity, and temperatures will warm up mid to upper 60s on Friday. For Saturday, mostly sunny start, and then once again, here we go, lightning strikes and thunderstorms right down the center of Washington. High temperatures on Saturday approaching 70 degrees, and then the best day of our entire forecast will be Sunday. Clear skies up and down the west coast. We'll see warmer temperatures too, with highs at least back to normal now into the low 70s. For Monday, partly cloudy skies. Going to stay on the mild side Monday with once again high temperatures in the low 70s. Take a look at that 7-day forecast now, and tonight will drop down to 40 degrees. Mostly sunny and windy once again tomorrow. 40 our overnight low, 60 our high. Don't forget, keep your eye on the sky if you're outdoors Friday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. We are going to warm up. 67 Friday, 69 Saturday, but thunderstorms are a possibility both days. And then a nice weather stretch on Sunday and Monday. 72 Sunday, 69 on Monday, and then a little bit cooler for Tuesday. Partly cloudy skies with a high of 63. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Attention RVers and campers! There's a huge RV liquidation event going on now at Click It RV of Moses Lake. Click It RV of Moses Lake must make room for new inventory arriving daily. There's a huge selection of top quality RVs that must be liquidated to make room for new arrivals.
You're going to want to be at this event.
Get to Click It RV Moses Lake's huge liquidation event.
Get to Click It RV now, or you're going to be mad, bro. You probably already are.
Get the best deals anywhere at Click It RV of Moses Lake.
We guarantee it.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. The Wenatchee Panthers advanced to the second round of the State 4A soccer tournament with a 1-0 win over Tahoma last night. Tyler Wisen scored a header in the 29th minute off a free kick from Giovanni Munoz for the game's only goal. Tahoma came out of the locker room energized in the second half, but just couldn't find the back of the net. I was lucky enough to have the call here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Ball still alive for Wenatchee. And here's an opportunity with a rifle kick on the way and saved nicely for Tahoma by Cohen Storch. Wow, that was a shot. Dropping back in defense, Collier with it, and then he's tripped, and they're going to call a free kick here for Wenatchee. Wow. Here's the kick ahead by Munoz, and the header, and it's in! Goal for Wenatchee. Tyler Wisen will give the first points of the postseason here for the Panthers, and they take a 1-0 lead. Giovanni Munoz with the assist, just a soft little left footer ahead, and Tyler Wisen was able to get past the bunch, and he scores it here in the 29th minute. Ball stolen away by Tahoma. Here's Villanueva, crossing pass, and the kick goes off the front of the crossbar. Right foot into it, far post they try, the header, it's knocked around, still loose, and then finally cleared away by Wenatchee. Near side it comes to Daly. Daly crosses it over. Bodies leap into the air. And here's a right-footed kick. Got away from Munguia for a moment, and then he's able to cover. Bears on the attack. The approach, the kick, and fumbled away, and then picked up by Munguia. Oh, my. All these precious moments, and that's going to be the whistle. And the Wenatchee fans rise to their feet in adulation of a Wenatchee win over Tahoma, but boy, give credit to the Bears for really, really turning it around here in the second half. They just could not show the benefits of their efforts here, falling by a score of 1-0 in the first round of the State 4A Championships.
When you get to this level and you're in the state tournament, the seeding that placed them here doesn't mean anything. Anybody can beat anybody. I thought they had a great match, great game plan. And, there were a lot of nerves on both sides, and it showed. We got one real quality service from Giovanni Munoz to Tyler Wisen for a header on a set piece. And, it was just a grind-out, ugly win. But sometimes you can't just play flowing, beautiful soccer, as sometimes it's just the way the game goes.
Each goal is a special one for me. Each goal helps the team out, and today it helped out the team a lot, so I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for the team, so it was a good goal.
Talk about that play. Munoz had the free kick about 20-some yards out and was able to loft that slowly towards you. Did it come to you as slowly as it looked from us up in the box?
I think Gio and I were on the same page with that one. He was on the same page with Alex in last week against Eastmont. So he kind of knew where the ball needed to go, and I was there luckily, and I was able to put it in the net. So yeah, I think it was tough for me. I'm not amazing at headers, but you just got to stick your head on it.
Wenatchee will host the winner of today's matchup between Issaquah and Puyallup Saturday in the Acre Bowl. Still the time to be determined. Eastmont's on the road today at Bellarmine Prep for its first-round game. That's coming up at 6. Wildcats, if they win, they'll face the winner of Chiawana and Newport in the quarterfinals. Bridgeport was able to advance to the first round of the state AB tournament with a 2-0 win over Columbia White Salmon yesterday. Mustangs will play the Bush School Friday in Sammamish at 8 o'clock. Manson is on the road at Vashon Island for its playing game today. Winner will take on Cascade in the Apple Bowl Friday night. Quincy's first-round opponent will be determined today in the play-in game between Riverside and Seattle Academy. Jackrabbits will host that first-round game Friday night at 6 o'clock. Well, the Wenatchee girls softball team will continue after a play-in win yesterday over Eisenhower. The Panthers beat the Cadets 11-5 to advance to the District 6-4A playoffs Friday. Wenatchee will face West Valley after the Rams beat Sunnyside in the other play-in game 11-1. Friday's game for Wenatchee will be at 5 o'clock at West Valley. Eastmont's district championship at the Sterling Fourplex also Friday at 5 against Moses Lake. Well, Friday's softball season came to an end in the District 5-6-2A tournament yesterday in Sela. Not without a fight, though. The Tigers crushed Prosser in their first game 21-2, but then fell to Ellensburg 14-9, a loser-out game. Bulldogs beat West Valley 10-4 to advance to face Ephrata. Othello won the district championship with a 4-1 win over Sela. Then, playing its third game of the day, Ellensburg advanced to state with a 4-3 win over Sela. Well, the Mariners continued their struggles offensively and fell to Toronto yesterday by a final of 3-0. All the action in the game basically came in the second inning. Seattle had the bases loaded with one out top half of the inning, but hit into a double play to end the threat. Toronto had the bases loaded in the bottom half of the inning, and George Springer emptied them with a triple.
He's been walking too many.
A fly to shallow right field, and it's down for a base hit. 2 runs have scored. Here comes Espinal. He will score. Springer into third, and he's safe. On a bloop, bases clearing triple to give the Blue Jays a 3-0 lead.
Clutching up once again is George Springer. Didn't get all of that one. Fastball got in on him. Souza was playing deep in right field, and I don't think he got a very good jump on that ball.
Here's the 3-2. And a ground ball. Chapman has it. Spins, fires, and the Blue Jays win it. Barrios, Phelps, and Simber combined to shut out Seattle.
Julio Rodriguez had 2 of Seattle's 6 hits. Logan Gilbert struck out 9 over 7 innings, but took the loss to see his record fall of 4-2. Mariners are sending Marco Gonzalez to the mound today to try to salvage the final game of that series. It's on right now on Root Sports Northwest. Well, Houston continued its winning ways in the American League West as the Astros hammered Boston 13-4. Houston's 24-13 on the season. Right behind them, the Angels, despite a 10-5 loss to Texas last night. Oakland just a game behind Seattle in the standings after the A's beat the Twins in that game yesterday by a final of 3-2. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Join me on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee.
It has really been a great partnership between success.
Thanks, Grant. Join me on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Our topic will be Dangerous Woman, the original production being put on by Rona Barron yet again. Hello, Rona. What are we talking about?
Hello. Well, we're going to talk tomorrow about Unsettled. It's the 4th in a series of Dangerous Women shows, and it features the settlement of this part of the state and the unsettlement that happened with Indigenous people, like 4 mothers of our cast member Stacy.
This program is going to be one of the first times since time immemorial that the people from the original people from this area are going to tell their story the way, their own version of their own story.
This is a production you do not want to miss, and you're going to find out all about it on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Dan, thank you very much. And that is going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Jefferson Robbins will be in the anchor chair the next 2 nights, and Dan Kuntz will be handling weather. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCWLIFE. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
It's a little scary at first, right? You're just throwing money out there hoping it comes back. And to see those results come back through and see people walk through the door and say, hey, saw your TV advertisement. Those are the kinds of things that you see the return on. And when you look at the cost spent, you know you're making a return on it. NCWLIFE really does a great job of exposing our brand and Succession wines to North Central Washington. There's a huge market here and market potential that NCWLIFE is able to help us capture, spread who we are, and tell the world about what Succession does, and they are a great avenue for that.
Watch Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Find out about programs and activities for ages 50 and over, and meet amazing seniors who contribute to our community. New episodes Sundays at 1:30 p.m., replayed throughout the week on the NCWLIFE channel.
The NCWLIFE channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCWLIFE channel today.